What's up and welcome to a very special Kind of Funny Games video. This doesn't really fit in any home. It's not a games cast. It's not a games daily. It's a trailer reaction, but it's kind of just a excuse for me and Imran, the Don Kahn, to talk about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
We've literally been talking about doing this since I think Summer Games Fest. Because like I saw you for the first time the night of the trailer. And I literally just ran up to you. You were mid-conversation with someone else. It's like, Tim, the FF7 trailer. And we're like, we should sit down and we should like analyze this stuff.
And here we are. It's been so busy, obviously. Like the amount of games coming out, the amount of showcases to cover and everything. It's just been ridiculous how much has happened. But I feel like this is timeless.
Yeah.
Having said that, we're 3 months away from release of this game.
No.
Doesn't that feel just unbelievable?
It does. So like I played this a little bit at TGS and I walked away. I didn't play much because that demo was in Japanese. But like I walked away being like, this is my most anticipated game right now.
Yeah. I mean, so I did the preview event for it, and I was talking to you. I was a little underwhelmed with the preview, and it was mainly. I keep saying this. It was just I don't think it was a good preview. I think that what they had us do wasn't the most interesting stuff, with some exceptions, and I do think the game's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
I have no worry. I just didn't really love how the preview went. But
right. I bet they're hiding so much shit.
Oh, yes, for sure. And seeing these trailers, like the Summer Game Fest trailer, I mean, it blew my mind. Like, as it was happening, I didn't expect to see it. And there's so much going on that I'm like, what are they possibly doing here? So that's why I kind of want to talk to you, because you've been doing some sleuthing. You've been looking into the theories and what's going on. So I said we start this off by just watching the trailer again, and talking over it if we want to, and then we'll go frame by frame and like get all the theories out there.
Right. Let's hype first and then we'll science.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We're still here at the scene of this terrible disaster, caused by a massive tornado which swept through sectors 0, 1, and 2. Amidst the wreckage of the expressway, search and rescue operations are already in progress.
So that video degradation is real interesting. So there's a couple of trailers, or a couple of parts of the trailer.
Wow.
It definitely seems like they want you to like, hey, this is not what you think it is.
Even after everything we've done to it, it's still going strong.
God, this game looks good, though.
It may look that way, but in reality, it's barely hanging on.
I was wondering, what's Cloud been doing these past 5 years?
Where's he been? And you're asking me this?
This is gonna sound crazy.
It's wild because like we don't get iterative Final Fantasies
As
anymore.
far as I know,
we they reinvent the wheel every single time.
Nibelheim 5 years ago.
Like you could tell they looked at this like, okay, what were people not satisfied about with the first game?
It is the very essence of our star.
I love all this stuff.
Yeah, I love how like cool he was, like just a weird purple coat and like a circle.
According to Hojo, they're connected to Sephiroth. Shadows of
I also love replaying Crisis Core recently with the
Master?
Sephiroth was in
No, it was called something.
Reunion.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I love all the Hojo stuff.
Why
Like,
come back now? After 5 years, doing who knows what.
there it is again.
Well now, think we woke it up.
Angered it, more like.
I love that Red 13 sounds like a little pump.
Yeah.
Like it's perfect for him, his voice.
She may be new, but she's still a Turk.
What's her name again? Elena?
Elena, yeah.
Junon, man.
Yeah, I played the open world portion of it, and I was like, you could see it from a distance, like, that looks incredible. Like, it looks like it did. I interpreted it as a kid.
Exactly. Did you play through that whole bit to the end? Okay.
What the? Keep it away from me!
The demo ended
She's a monster.
under Junon.
That she can peer inside you, into the very depths of your soul. That she can become those you hate, those you fear, those you love.
You murdered my dad! You burned my village!
You know that I killed her. So, who is she?
Who is she,
Who is
Imran?
she? Because, I mean, we'll talk about it. I actually love that line because who is she could refer to Tifa.
Mm-hmm.
It could also refer to Genova, who can take the
could.
form of like anybody.
Yeah.
All right.
Very interesting stuff. You wanna break this one down? Or you
Hey,
wanna watch?
pause real quick, Barrett. So, here's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
You see a bunch of those little things flying across the screen. That could be debris, but like you can also see it outside the fire. So like this is the aftermath of the wisp tornado from the first game.
Uh-huh.
I wonder if those are the wisps that are actually just like flying away from this. Because like some look like paper, some look like birds. I get it. Like that could be overanalyzing completely, but like I wonder if like that's just them being like, okay, we're done here. We're defeated. We can't affect this story anymore.
Interesting.
But yeah, this is.
But we know that they're still here though, right? Because I mean, we get the hooded people, right?
I think those are the hooded people are the Sephiroth reunion, like the people who have been infected by Genova.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the wisps, I think, are done after the end of Remake.
Interesting. Because like the wisps were the things that represented like the stories changing.
Yes.
Right.
Or the story not changing because they're the ones that are desperate to try to keep it online.
Yeah.
So like when Sephiroth stabbed Barrett at the end of at the Shinra Tower, they revived him, which is like the most direct role they take in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But like this is, by the story wise, this is the after the big tornado that affected Midgar. So in theory, this should be where they're done. Even if it's like they're being cagey about what timeline we're watching right now. So like Barry, if you can unpause. And all right, so pause here. I don't know if this is a bitrate thing or a like mistake thing or what. So like it's the YouTube video, and usually people have said that if you download it on PS5, it looks better. But what I'm trying to point out here is that you don't see a tattoo on Barrett's arm.
I mean, you kind of do that.
You kind of do, but it's not nearly as like prominent as it's supposed to be. Like it looks extremely faded.
So what's the theory here? Because I remember, I think it was you that I was talking to about this, that like potentially this is like a fake news situation of them having like body doubles to make it look like the terrorists have been apprehended or
so
whatever.
Like crisis actors could be a thing they do. It could also be this is not the same timeline wherein Barrett never got it re-inked or whatever, that this is like Zack's timeline where he never met, like Cloud never met Barrett or what have you.
Okay, let's rewind just a little bit here, because like the timeline stuff gets crazy and wacky, right? But in the canon that we have now that they're building, there's the original Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then putting out Crisis Core Reunion. They did that like they didn't need to re-release that game, right? Yeah. They did it because they want that to be part of this story, you know? And I was expecting that game to have a post-credit scene or something, and it didn't. It was just it did, but it had the same post-credit that it used to have. But like, I thought it was going to tie into Zack being alive at the end of Remake. What is your theory right now to even like get there of like where the timelines are in terms of Zack?
So I think that had to have happened. Like Crisis Core had to have happened for FF7 to happen, then for FF7 Remake to happen. What's happening with Zack's new timeline is they defeated the Whispers and something happened where Zack was just he did not die at the outside Midgar.
The cliffs, yeah. So
he was able to come through, and I think it effectively created a new timeline because that would have been like a month prior to FF7 in the first place. But that he came back means Cloud probably never joined with Tifa, never joined with Barrett, which doesn't make any of this part make sense.
Yeah.
Because if he never joined with them, they would get some of that stuff done. They would have gotten through Mecha Reactor 1. They would have created that fake terrorist attack there. They would not have met Aerith because Cloud met Aerith.
And Red.
And they would not have met Red 13 because they met him through Aerith.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is, in that newscast, they mentioned the damage in Sector 0, 1, and 2. 1, when they fought the tornado, it was like significantly outside the city. Or like not outside the city, but outside like the main reactors. 2, Sector 0 is not a thing publicly known. Because like you played Dirge of Cerberus, right?
Yeah.
So Sector 0 is where Deep Ground connects to. So it's where Hojo has his lab. It's where the Dirge of Cerberus enemies come from. It's where Yuffie was in Intermission. So for it, like, one, for them to call out Sector Zero is really strange. Two, for them to say like the damage was there doesn't make any sense unless even in Zack's timeline, Yuffie still had that terrorist attack there.
Yeah.
And still tried to destroy that area.
Okay.
So that's the only thing I can think of why they would simply call out Sector, because they could have said anything. They could have said Sector 7, where they would have still done the plate drop.
Yeah, that's true. It's so interesting to me that like Zack is so prominently featured in the promotional material, because it's like, it's just so hard to understand what they're gonna do with that, you know? And like, so okay, let's keep going here. Like, what else you got for me?
We call out Aerith. It's strange she's there. They would not have killed her either way because they need her. So it's like, it's just weird that she appears to be dead.
So what is the best guess here? Do we think the crisis actor thing is accurate? Like that this is fake news that they're just trying to put out there? Or do you think it's a timeline?
I think it's a timeline thing. I can't imagine they're all dead. Or if they are, like, in the second trailer that we're going to watch today, there's going to be more to like talk about that. But they'd have no reason to show Red 13 as a crisis actor either. Like,
that's a good point.
They would show Avalanche.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been Jesse or like someone else. Like, they don't need to show, hey, we found this weird thing that we've been keeping for a while. It was a terrorist.
Yeah. That is hilarious.
Like, or like showing images of Aerith is like, you know, engendering sympathy.
Kind of showing their
to
hand,
like a sector that knows her.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Shinra's known for propaganda. And there's the video artifacts too. Once that like that Sephiroth
glitchy stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, they've been using that to really kind of symbolize the like, it's a multiverse.
Yeah,
you know?
Multiverse, and also they typically show it around reunion stuff too. So like, it has something to do, I think, with like maybe Cloud's weird memories.
Well, the biggest thing too, like reunion. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the first time we really hear that was Advent Children, right?
No, I don't think so. I think it's in the main game.
Oh, I guess you're right. The whole Genova thing.
Yeah, it's like everyone, all the people who are affected by Genova meeting up at the Great Glacier.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, and then Advent Children having the three dudes.
Yeah.
Do you think that they get involved in this at all? Kadaj and
they were hinted at in Remake.
I don't remember that.
So when you're facing the Wisps at the end of the game, they all have. So one is a gunner, one's a swordsman, one's a fist fighter. Yes. And when you look at their profile, it's like they are here to stop you from preventing their future, where they're never born or something like that.
Love it.
So like it's a small hint towards them, but
stupid.
It's them.
I love it.
All right, let's go because I think a lot of the next bit is gameplay.
Really gorgeous game though.
Yeah. And it's like, this is the part, one, I like this part because, like, Red 13 just started sitting there. He's not standing behind you, so that means, like, Chicago Red is probably a place you go back fairly often.
In the demo that I did, the Chocobo farms were, like, a really big part of it. And, like, you can go in and really customize the Chocobo. Like, they have a ton of different armor pieces. Some of them look like the different bosses you fought. Like, there's like, the Scorpion boss in the beginning of Final Fantasy VII and Remake. And you can kind of like put Scorpion armor on the Chocobo, which is pretty fun. And then like Red 13 riding the Chocobo is like the best thing ever.
Yes.
Like he's just like sitting on it mounted.
So like I think this is the part where Tifa's like, hey, I don't know where Cloud, like, what's the deal with Cloud right now? And she's talking to Aerith. So I think what the line Sephiroth says at the end, do you think that's her? You know, I killed her. He's trying to turn them both against each other. Not just Cloud against Tifa. But I think Tifa also has suspicions about Cloud, like, Genova can take the place of people. She doesn't probably know that, but like she has suspicions of why is Cloud here. It is more than just, do I think Cloud is crazy? It is this really Cloud?
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be interesting too.
Yeah.
All right. This is the Bugenhagen explaining that like life stream comes from the sun and like it creates all the planets sort of thing. And like I think that's a little hint towards what Sephiroth wants to do here. It's not just to become like the part of become the center of the world. He's trying to become the center of the universe, but from which all life stream like flows.
Yeah.
Like that is,
Classic
if you're looking for a
Sephiroth.
goal for Sephiroth beyond FS7, that's like the only place he could really go.
Yeah. Got to go bigger.
Yeah. Also,
and
I
then-
love that's just his concept art. It's just like what he looks like there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I love the visuals of all this. This reminds me a lot of the Shinra building at the end of Remake, where like you kind of go through the VR experiences of like the history of Shinra and all that, and there was like the Final Fantasy X like vague references to some of this stuff. Like I just love how much fun they're having with it all.
Yeah. All right. So this is Mithril Mine, which looks to be a lot bigger this time. Because you remember, you probably don't remember Mithril Mine because it was nothing.
It was pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a tunnel you go through where Elena like introduced herself. She says like, Reno has a weapon he's gonna kill you with, and then leaves.
Yeah.
That clearly not the case here. Go forward because like they do show more of this.
This is what the main combat demo was going through there.
God, this game just looks good. We get like Cloud in Calm and like explaining the Nibelheim story
For the millionth time.
Yeah, like she is clearly trying to not doubt Cloud, but something is happening.
Yeah.
And
And that transition with the glitchy stuff
The
too.
video artifact, yeah. Okay, here's the other part of Mithril Mine, I'm pretty sure. This, I think, is an original boss because I cannot recognize him. Like this big stone golem.
Yeah.
Two things is that one, this boss is just being fought by Red 13 and Barrett.
Which is interesting. Like that's, I mean, the demo, at least like when we were here, that we were playing as Cloud and Sephiroth.
Yeah. So like clearly you were splitting the party up in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Although, if I remember correctly in the demo, you could choose outside of combat, you choose who's in the actual fights.
Yeah.
And then not all the characters are there. So potentially that's just the party lineup that they chose.
Possible, but like
combat.
only two people.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I think they split up because go ahead, Barrett. Like you see in this fight, it is Tifa, Aerith, and Cloud against the Turks.
Okay.
Which I assume is still Mithril Mine because it looks like a
Similar.
mine, and that's where they introduced Elena.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You nailed it there. God, the team attacks are so damn sick.
They're great. I love them so much in intermission, and they're like just as cool, if not cooler, in this one.
Yeah, one thing that's cool about them in the demo I played is like they're not tied to like MP or anything. They're like kind of unlimited use, and there's like some of them are more context sensitive to like the type of enemies you're fighting. So it was really dynamic in the gameplay, which I enjoyed.
I noticed in the later trailer, but not this one, is when two characters are doing a team attack together, it shows like a chain link symbol on their health bars. They don't have it in this one, so maybe it's just an earlier build. This is the Costa del Sol boat, where they meet Genova in the cargo hold. I don't know why Yuffie's freaking out this hard.
I feel like they're just trying to like give Yuffie more to do in the core story, you know?
I mean, it probably is so like they can have a certain they don't want Yuffie 4 people in the fight.
Yeah.
But also, I kind of wonder if like what she's looking at now, that purple mist, is basically what she saw like taking over Sonam at the end of intermission.
Yeah.
So like she's like, oh shit, this thing again.
It's happening. Yeah.
And if you look a little bit right to her face, I don't know if it's just like weird distortion, but somewhere in the cloud smoke in this one frame, you kind of see someone's glasses, but then they go away in like the next frame. So maybe there is some.
I can kind of see what you're talking
vision.
about. Yeah.
Yeah,
it might be just be like smoke and lights, but yeah, I can see it sort of makes sense.
It looks like an eyebrow right above like someone's like glasses or something. It's weird.
I mean, honestly, Hojo could be taking way more of a role in this stuff. Who knows?
I mean, I feel like they've been focusing on Hojo so much.
Yes.
Like, I think that is key to so much of this.
God, the Genova fight in the first game was so good too.
Yeah. God.
And like this looks like an actually different fight. Like a different kind. They're not just reusing Genova from Remake.
Mm-hmm.
Right, he's clearly trying to get Cloud like, you have to come to reunion.
Your high school reunion. Yeah.
This is the part where Tifa tried to kill Sephiroth and he grabs her and slashes her.
But I love how they edit this and like just even with the lines of dialogue to make it seem like, are they killing Tifa here? This episode is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. There's so much to be thankful for: family, friends, food, and NFL football all week long. DraftKings Sportsbook is keeping your Thanksgiving week full of action. New customers can bet just $5 on the NFL action to score $150 instantly in bonus bets. Looking ahead to Thanksgiving, you know the Lions are always playing next week, and they have Green Bay coming to town, and the Lions are currently 7.5-point favorites. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code KindaFunny. New customers can bet $5 on the NFL Thanksgiving action to score $150 instantly in bonus bets, only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, with code KindaFunny. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, which is 467-369. In West Virginia, you can visit www.1800gambler.net. Please play responsibly. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. You can call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, KS must be 21 or older in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. You can see DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms. So what's the final lines they have there? Who is she?
Yeah. Like, I killed her. Who do you think she is, or whatever?
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yes. I like because Tifa never she questions Cloud, but she still has an unwavering loyalty to it. It's a trust but verify kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you weren't in Nibelheim. Does that mean I'm wrong, or like, are you just confused? Here she's like, are you actually Cloud?
Yeah.
And I think that's a way more interesting question.
Totally.
Because Cloud can't answer that question. He has no idea.
He has no idea. So let's talk timeline a little bit of, not timeline, it's just timeline of like the core story here. Because she's saying 5 years, right? And then the end of Crisis Core, because Zack is in the chamber, right?
Yeah.
For 5 years, right?
Yeah, I believe they escape from Nibelheim and head to Midgar.
Yeah. And then you were saying a month before.
A month between Crisis Core ending and FF7 beginning. So between Zack dying on that hill and Cloud being on that train going into the Mega Reactor.
Got it. Okay, yeah. Okay, that adds up then. So it's 5 years plus 1 month plus. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Timeline might be a little off. But
a
it's
little
around,
off, but yeah, that's the gist of it. Okay, cool.
All right.
You want to pull up the second trailer?
Yeah, let's do that.
Do it.
Because I have a lot more to say about that
world's
one.
Ending. At least, that's what everyone's saying.
This sky, I don't like it.
Ready to fire, sir.
Welcome to the New World Order.
I love that Rufus is back.
Yep.
I love he's back. He's just doing some dumb shit in Juna.
Just close your eyes and listen. Tell me you can't hear that. Her rallying cry.
Planet
God
runs
bless
out of
you,
energy. It and everything on it dies.
We can overcome our fate.
Am I the same as these monsters? Am I even human?
Music's just too good.
I know.
We're looking for Sephiroth. Think you can find him?
Oh, Sephiroth.
I will say,
You see.
I'm a little upset that they
So
cowered
you
it out
hated
on the
the
name.
call too, did you?
Because it's supposed to be
What are you
pronounced
talking
Ketchi.
about?
Yeah.
And
As you
it
can
is everywhere
see,
else
your
except
brothers
English.
down
Yeah.
Where they pronounce it
are
Kate
having a
there.
little
Yeah.
get together.
Like, I get it, but
They're our
you,
best
people
chance of
would have
finding
accepted
Sephiroth.
it.
Totally.
Yeah. I ask because I suspect there's soldiers suffering from cellular degradation.
Do not be deceived. You know the truth. Trust in me.
Sephiroth!
Yeah, this was the end of the demo I did.
On me.
And this was the combat demo.
Yeah. I watched a video of this at TGS, but I'm not playing this part. Fucking Alexander.
Come on.
Kujata. Odin.
Look!
Andrea.
I love how this looks.
Yes. Every part of the Golden Saucer, I think, looks perfect.
Excuse me.
Could you look after my friend? Just for a bit.
A weapon?
Tutelary creatures, set only to appear when the planet is in grave danger.
Who dares disturb my slumber? It's upon us. The reunion. When worlds merge. I'm waiting, Cloud.
When worlds merge.
Mm-hmm. Which I think maybe implies, like, with him at the center.
Yeah. 2 discs. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. I remember that getting a cheer.
It's so funny. It's just, man, I didn't see that steelbook. Can you go back 1 sec? I need that.
Yeah.
I really need that. Oh, that's awesome, man. So what's the takeaways top level on this one?
The takeaway for me on this one is, 1, I think Rebirth is going to be fucking rock. 2, they're really pushing the multiple timeline. It's like, stop here, Barrett. That the voiceover here saying the world is ending is Elmira. Because you can see her at the very beginning, like for a half second, talking to Zack. So if you're trying to like bridge together what has happened, we know at the end of intermission, Zack went to the church, was like, wait, where's Aerith?
Yeah.
And she was not there. Which maybe would have been a month before the tornado, but we don't know what the tornado was or what it was in the timeline. So he probably would have gone to her house and met Elmira, like who does tell Cloud, like, yeah, Aerith was dating a soldier, he just never came back. Which so she knew about Zack to begin with. So
interesting. That's a good point.
He is still carrying Cloud on his back. He is still unconscious. So he would have gone to Elmira, and she must have said, like, there's the plate missing. So that had already happened.
So clear me up on the him carrying Cloud thing, because when we saw, I guess that it was at the end of Remake, we did see like the party kind of walking this way, and then him with Cloud, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So like Cloud has not, once he was in that Nibelheim tank, he has not woken up since then.
Yeah.
Like he only wakes up when the soldiers have killed Zack, and like I guess he has the emotional response to a giant battle going around
crying
him.
in the rain.
And like grabs his sword and leaves. Then Tifa finds him wandering around Midgar, or hears about him, like figures out it's Cloud, and like gets him cleaned up essentially. So that was, depending on timeline, that's where things get confusing, because the plate has already fallen, because you can see Zack look up at it and just like it's not there.
And they have the lines about Aerith being like, the sky, it's scary.
Yeah. Like it's clearly already fallen. Midgar, or Sector 7 at least, is destroyed. But that doesn't make any sense, because he should have been there a month beforehand, unless he laid low for a month too, which kind of makes some sense because Cloud's not in a Shinran uniform or anything like that.
Yeah. Remember how fucking cool it was when we had Genesis, Sephiroth, and Zack fighting on the Junon cannon?
Oh, he was reading
fucking
poetry.
Slices it, and reading the goddamn Loveless poetry shit, and then it slices it off, and it's like, what's going on? And it was like, oh, this is just a simulation. But it was like so cool.
I think there's a possibility, and we'll get to it, that Genesis is in this trailer.
No way.
We'll get to it. It's like one of the last scenes. So we'll get to it. The Junon cannon firing. Rufus just kind of leading this on. I forget what his actual motives were for doing this, like in the game, but it's just like as presented, it's just, I want to do a cool military parade.
Yeah.
Okay, stop here, Barrett. So that's Cloud up front. You can tell because you can say like his L2 has changed formation. He was not leading the parade in episode 7.
Yeah.
He was just like sneaking into the back. So
there's purpose there.
Yeah, they clearly expanded it to something else now. All right, go ahead. Beautiful game.
I can hear. Even without the audio play, I can hear Cosmo Canyon.
You remember, you were at my wedding when we came out to the FS7 world main theme. I like that you actually see the monsters Sephiroth peered in on.
Mm-hmm. So pretty.
Yeah. Kate Sith looks great. He looks great to play as. Whatever. I guess you have like the entire Chocobo like all of them, like Gold Chocobo on,
Yeah.
like available in this game. Which makes sense because next to the last game, you don't want to hold that too far.
Yeah.
Right? But I remember that being an end game thing for me. This is just funny and stupid. I love that you're just scooting around close to the soul.
Why not, man? It's funny because like I really thought that part 2 of this trilogy was going to.
But our pause here.
Was going to get really off the rails, and I thought it was going to be like dramatically different than the original story. But everything we're seeing here seems to be like fairly in line. So I wonder, is the final product going to be so much more than what these trailers are showing, and then is the third game just going to be off the rails, or by the end of the day, is this going to be more similar than we would have expected?
Well, we haven't seen Sid yet, which is like I think one of the bigger things because you would have had to pass through Rocket Town to get to where like Nibelheim and all these other places are going to. So I have to assume that like they're hiding something deep down, and like also there's always the chance for Zack's timeline to be the weird stuff.
Yeah.
This is about 3 years ago, no, maybe 5 years ago. There was a book about what happened to Tifa after or between Midgar or Nibelheim and Midgar. And basically, it's just she went through some real dark shit. She was in a coma for a long time. She met this doctor, who is Dr. Sharon, who lives in Corel. So she basically got medevaced to Corel, where this doctor saved her life from the sword she was impaled with. Then from there, she went to Midgar to meet another doctor who fixed her with skin grafts, which is basically just a long way to explain, like, hey, Tifa just burst her midriff constantly. Why isn't there a scar there? But that doctor like
stupid.
Abused her and like made her like until she escaped and like met what was her name? The landlord from FF7 Remake.
I don't remember.
It started with an M, but like she met her and then she escaped and she like lived in her apartment. So basically, I'm guessing this is Corel, and in Corel they've met a lot of the former soldiers, Genova induced like zombies that this doctor is trying to figure out. But I assume that he is going to play some role in the Cloud and Tifa are suspicious of each other storyline here. Because he would be able to say, like, hey, Tifa, was nearly killed. Yeah. But also Tifa might tell him, don't tell Cloud that because we don't know who he is.
Yeah, I mean, and also, in this bit right here, he's even explicitly saying, like, hey, my theory is the soldiers are facing weird degradation and being zombies. So.
Which might, like, put Tifa more on edge knowing Cloud was a soldier.
Cloud was involved, yeah.
Was he? Or
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
All right, go ahead. That's him in the hospital or doctor's office still. Yeah. So he's seeing Sephiroth there. And we know that, like, he sees other Genova patients, zombies, as Sephiroth. Because he's done that multiple times, including Shinra Tower.
Mm-hmm.
But this is also a chance for other people to see that. So who knows if like they'll see him as Sephiroth. Midgar Zolom, fucking cool. Can't wait to fight it.
Yeah, the fight was pretty cool with the water.
Yeah.
Dragon, whatever that's called.
All right, Materia Keeper, who was not in this part of the game. He was in Nibelheim, or it was in Nibelheim, but it wasn't during the Cloud and Sephiroth fight.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, he was there when you go back to Nibelheim current timeline. So, I understand them moving him here. I wonder if one way to, like, juxtapose and, like, show how strong Sephiroth is you actually do go back and fight him as your current party and struggle with him a lot more.
Thank you, Barrett, for going back and forth on these utterly ridiculous screens. Like the look that Cloud and Sephiroth give each other. And the lines of dialogue around these bits are just so funny. Like it's not this, but in the gameplay that we did, where you're like fighting the boss, the sexual tension. It's just so palpable. Like I know that Sephiroth in the original game like calls Cloud a little puppy.
Yeah.
But like hearing him say it during battle, there's something that's just so kinky about it.
I love that, like, Cloud's face he is both like baffled and like struggling.
Yeah.
Like he's doing, if I recall correctly, he's doing like 100 something damage, and Sephiroth is doing like 3,000.
Yeah. So cool, man.
Like Sephiroth, he's not struggling at all. He's just enjoying this. Oh, Alexander looks so fucking. He has not looked this cool since FF9.
God, yeah.
They did say there's going to be an original summon in this game too, and I'm curious.
Oh,
who that is.
cool.
Yeah. Golden
God, so
Saucer.
good.
Okay, but pause there. Like back to Yuffie real quick.
So impressive.
She has an alternate costume here. She's wearing a kimono. Tifa isn't. Tifa's not wearing anything different. Nor Aerith. Yeah. So like, I assume it is for a cutscene. Like she wanted to get dressed up or something, but it does imply that there are alternate outfits again. Like Tifa had a couple in remake. Aerith had the dress.
Yeah.
So I hope you can actually just wear them outside outside the scenes they're in.
That'd be cool, dude. I'd love Advent Children Tifa outfit.
Yes.
That thing is so sick.
I fucking can't wait for the Chocobo Mario Kart game.
I just love the polygon look of the battle thing.
Okay, so pause here. This might be where everyone else gets involved. So here Zack is pawning Cloud off on Kyrie, who is noted scumbag from FF7 Remake and also from like Light Novels beforehand. She probably doesn't super care about holding on to this Mako Poison guy.
Yeah.
I could see her just dumping him somewhere, and like maybe that's where Aerith meets him. Maybe, or if Aerith's not dead, who knows at this point. But like, there's got to be a reason they showed him giving Cloud to Kyrie, because otherwise Zack would be carrying Cloud around for like a long time.
So what's very interesting about the Zack of it all is we have not yet seen him interact with anybody besides Poison Cloud.
Yeah.
Right? And that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And like
well,
him and Aerith,
that assumes they're not dead, is the thing.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. He could have clocked into a timeline where Aerith was part of the terrorist attack, or quote unquote terrorist attack.
Yeah.
And she, Red 13, Tifa, and Barret have died.
I don't want that.
So
I want him and Aerith to just be happy.
This is probably not based on the trailer, but like and I think I told you this when we finished FF7 Remake the first time, like texted you this theory. I wonder if in this game or the next game, Cloud dies and Zack takes his place.
I love that.
Because all those other characters can't be done in this world, if in this timeline, because presumably they're dead. So if he joins that one, which does not have a Cloud, a character that presumably he is identical to, then he can slot in there very easily.
God, can you imagine the fan revolt if that happened?
Yes.
I just like that is some Metal Gear Solid 2. Halo 2 is the Arbiter shit. Like, but I personally would be thrilled.
Honestly, I think it's I put Aerith dying at like maybe 50% odds. 50? I think 50%. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's a coin toss really, but like I think they're gonna try and that's gonna be the big change of the game, and that's what really reverses everything. Is like, what if Aerith was supposed to die?
Yeah.
Like that. That's what I think. And if she doesn't die, then the question is who does.
Yeah. Someone's gonna.
Yes.
And yeah, Cloud. I mean, fuck. That would be interesting.
Pause here, Barret. Here's this guy.
Yeah. Who's this guy?
That's a good question. We have no idea. He is not one of the Genova zombies, which leaves a couple of options. One, as I mentioned,
no.
What if that's Genesis?
No, this guy looks too white.
You don't see his eyes or his hair.
Yeah, I can't imagine Genesis having this little freaking like this guy looks like the Green Arrow. You know what I mean?
So there's another option, which it might not be, but this is what I'm putting my bet on. Did you play First Soldier? Okay, so the intro of that game has you following these 3 students that are like trying to become soldiers. One of them is named Glenn. He is like the protagonist of First Soldier. When that game got shut down, like 3 months later, it was like a real fast shutdown. They sent the player a letter addressed to Glenn and like the other 2 characters saying, "You 3 have graduated into soldier," which means this game taking place like 20 years later after First Soldier. That would put him at roughly the right age.
Okay.
Of like this guy.
He looks like a Glenn. I can buy
like
that.
A Glenn.
Genesis, maybe not. Glenn, yes.
And like he would also be someone who would be infected with Genova cells because he is
soldier.
Yeah, a soldier, but not so much that he would like completely lack willpower. Like somewhat more of a Cloud situation.
Yeah. And you're right. We don't see his eyes.
Yeah.
So we don't know.
And he's not wearing the Genova hood or anything like that. He's wearing a hood, but like that to me looks like an organization of some sort that is monitoring these things.
An organization 13, if you will. No.
No. The world's not on this one.
Please no.
The world's on the third
never
one.
say never, Tim.
Never say never. I like how in the same breath I can say please don't do that, but then also want them to connect it to Final Fantasy X. But I desperately do want them to do that.
Oh, it is connected.
I mean, that's the thing.
That is
man.
confirmed.
Yeah,
That
but do it more.
Shinra from FF10-2 is the one who founded Shinra, the company.
Which is awesome.
All right. This is when they first see the weapons is super cool.
I love how it looks, man. Like I know that at this point we're like 10 years into seeing this remake footage. Even more if you count the like PS3 like tech demo thing that they did. But like it really is kind of mind blowing how this is my childhood come to life.
Yes.
And it looks how I want it to.
Yeah. Like this, especially amazing because almost all these cutscenes are in real time. So they're like, I saw people saying this game doesn't look that much better than PS4 remake. I think they're insane. You would not be able to do this character model on the PS4.
Beautiful, man.
It would crash to a halt. All right, Vincent.
Oh, come
all right.
on, man. Just cool incarnate.
I want to hear your bet right now. Do you think Vincent's playable in this game?
I mean, didn't they say no?
They didn't say no. They said there will be characters that have the Red 13 style thing.
I mean, look, I don't see why not. Like, I feel like with the amount of playable characters that they already have, and like even just from what I played, how much focus is on shifting them in and out, I don't see why it wouldn't be, you know? But I do think I can see him being like Red 13 was in Remake.
I think they keep him out if only because there's already, for people who didn't play Intermission, there's Yuffie who's new, Kate Sith is new, Red 13 is new. That's a lot of like characters to make it, or know how to play.
Yeah. In addition to
yeah,
Barrett, Tifa, and Cloud, and Aerith.
So I think maybe adding Vincent instead is too overwhelming and like gives you something to wait for the third game.
Or a DLC.
Or a
Rebirth, Intermission, whatever.
But it's interesting that they're going to Nibelheim. What is the background behind Aerith? Is that a painting?
That's interesting. Is it a door?
Because like if I remember the room you walk in that Vincent is in, it is a like small square room with one door on one side and there's the coffin in the middle. Or not middle, but like on the far end. So like
yeah, that's weird.
That doesn't look like Nibelheim Castle. So like is that a painting?
No,
it
looks
I think
it looks like a doorway because if you see to the right of Aerith, you do see like a handle.
Yeah.
The thing I find interesting is like you see almost like what looks like sunlight like right behind them.
Yeah.
But then right past that, it's more of like a cooler tone in the rest of that room.
Right. Because like it should look like a mansion outside. It should look like everything inside. But that looks like outside. That looks like the open world.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Did someone stash Vincent somewhere else? Like why would they do that?
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like with Vincent being kind of like as optional as he was in the original game, maybe they're making changes to make it more like this actually matters and like it's important.
I have no doubt they're going to make you get Vincent. I'm just confused about why he's coming in from somewhere else. Like that room looks like Nibelheim Mansion, but the room outside of it doesn't.
Yeah, that's
also there's a treasure chest there, which I hate when games do that. I hate when they put treasure chests in cutscenes because that's all I see. I just think about like I just need to get out of this cutscene.
Open it.
Yeah, I need to go get this. I usually miss the context of the cutscene.
So funny.
But yeah, that's good old Matt Mercer.
Yeah, good for him.
This looks like the fight from Remake.
Yeah, it does.
Which are they re-showing this? Are you re-fighting him?
Because I guess it is the same squad, right? Like there's
the Wisps are in the background.
The Wisps are right there.
Yuffie's not here.
Like maybe they're just covering it for people who didn't play Remake. That's insane to jump into Rebirth, but I get it. I guess.
Yeah, God, this looks cool. This will never not be cool.
Yes.
Sephiroth with fucking one wing. Come on.
That's actually all the notes I had for this thing.
At some point, maybe after this or after we play this game or something, Bless has never seen Advent Children. You guys need to come over to my house and we just need to fucking watch it.
100%.
Because I've never watched it. I have the 4K Blu-ray. I've never watched that version though.
Did you see that thing like Nia DaCosta was saying like recently about like?
Oh yes.
The thing she pitched to Marvel originally was basically Advent Children with Marvel characters.
I mean, did you watch the Marvels?
Not yet.
There are scenes that are like, oh yeah, that's straight up Advent Children, dude, and it's fucking cool as hell. Man, I'm so excited. We're so close to this thing, man. Like, so do you think that this ends with the death? Death?
They did. Nomura gave an interview. He said this game will end in the ancient capital. So like that would put it in. I know that's a teasing line because that implies this will end where Aerith dies.
Yeah.
But like at the end of disc 1. But he never said this will end like with a death or with it.
Yeah.
Like, he just says that's a very impactful place for the story of FF7.
Yeah.
So Aerith has to pray to Holy. That's a thing that has to happen for the rest of the story to really go through. She doesn't necessarily have to die, but that sets off so much motivation for the rest of the characters. I am sticking to my theory. Cloud is the one who dies, and Zack maybe replaces him in the story. But then, it's maybe a Chrono Trigger style death where you can get Cloud back in Game 3.
I mean, I'd be into that.
Yeah.
I don't see them killing Cloud and Cloud just being dead.
Right.
Like that. You can't do that for Final Fantasy VII. Like that would be just, I think, too wild of a thing. But they're clearly bringing Zack into this.
Yes.
And I don't think that they're just going to
He's not just an alternate take on things.
Yeah. He's going to be I think that at some point he will be with our core cast.
Right.
Which is really cool.
I kind of want to, Zack is not persona non grata to everyone yet.
Yeah.
He was being attacked by Shinra Black Ops. So but the company at large probably doesn't know that he's a traitor to them. I wonder if he goes into the Shinra building, finds out about the terrorists, and is like, "Hey, I know that girl."
Yeah.
The most impactful event of his life happened when she was around.
Yeah. I just want them to reunite, man. It is one of seeing Zack come back. I'm just like, give them their moments, I mean, even in Advent Children, we get the little bits of them in the white void or whatever, death, I guess. I don't know.
It is very interesting to me that they named the games the way they did, because by all rights, based on what we know, this one is the game that should be called Reunion, and Crisis Core should have been called Rebirth, because those make more sense with what happens in the story. So I'm curious why that one was Reunion, or is it they're reuniting with Zack or whatever. And this one is things are being born again, because as far as we've seen, stuff is sticking pretty hard to the story so far from the trailer. So Rebirth doesn't make sense. Reunion would, especially if it is Cloud and Zack do meet up. That's the scene I want to see.
Oh yeah,
I want to see Cloud being like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
especially because he's already so suspicious of everybody at this point, and just trying not to be.
I just want to hear Zack say "Gongaga" again. But real talk, what do you think the third game's called?
There's going to be something for sure. They've already used their two best ones, which is Rebirth and Reunion. It's Nomura titled, so probably going to be not a real word.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Reinstate.
Reinstate is possible.
Return.
Refinalization. Rebirth is either of those titles were work or 3. That's what's confusing me so much.
Yeah.
Is those would have made more sense for a third game.
And Reunion thematically, yeah, but they already used it for Crisis Core.
Yeah. Remembrance.
Remember would be weird, but kind of cool.
Yeah.
Do you think we got a
Reset.
DLC? Oh, Reset.
Oh, that's good.
That's actually pretty sick.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's it, everybody.
What they
Put it
want
on
out
the
of it, out of this game and trilogy is this is the last FF7 thing. There's no more multiverses. There's no more whatever. Obviously, that's not true because Ever Crisis also exists.
Yeah,
and that is also a different retelling on FF7.
Yeah.
But in theory, this is the thing that stops Sephiroth from jumping from universe to universe and stops them from redoing the story over and over.
And especially if your theory rings true of it being Cloud at the end, maybe getting killed instead, and then following up of if the third game is about trying to get him back, what if that story then goes into resetting a lot of things that were supposed to happen?
Yeah. One thing that they've never been clear on is what the ending of FF7 meant.
The original ending.
The original ending.
Is that distant future?
Yeah.
Or
Is it like 10 years? Were the humans wiped out?
Yeah, because that's what they kind of imply.
Yes.
But they never actually say.
Yeah. And I think what we'll get from the next game, not Rebirth, the game after that, is a better answer to that question, or at least a way to prevent that future from happening. Because like when in FF7 Remake, they show that scene in the not final battle, but like the battle against the Wisps, and Red 13 says it's a future that may be.
Yeah.
Not. So I don't think they're trying to rejigger the timeline to get back to that.
Yeah.
They're trying to get it to a happier, probably better timeline.
More human focused.
Yeah, where people are not wiped out. Because like that, even if you bought people about humans another century, that's not really a happy ending.
Yeah.
Like that's a pretty bad ending.
Yeah.
That humanity got wiped out.
Oh man, so damn interesting. Let us know in the comments below what your theories are, what you think the third game will be titled, and if you think Cloud is gonna die. Imran, thank you so much for hanging out. I always love this. There's nothing I love more than talking about Nintendo or Final Fantasy VII with you. So where can people find you these days?
They can find me on my Patreon at prosecons, PROSEKHANS.com, or on the dying Twitter at ImranZOMG.
There you go. Please do that, everybody. Until next time, love you all. Goodbye.